Hey, it's Tim. Today I'm going to be making Ballpark pretzels from the book Bread Illustrated by America's Test Kitchen. Let's not waste any time. This is 293 grams of bread flour. I'm using King Arthur bread flour. And this is about 2 teaspoons of kosher salt and a teaspoon of instant or rapid rise yeast. And I'm going to whisk those in the bowl of this stand mixer. With the mixer on low, I'm going to add the liquid ingredients. Now, you could mix this is about 28 grams of malted barley syrup. The recipe calls for using dark brown sugar, but I have this because I tried making some bagels a while back and needed this to make the bagels, and I figured it'll taste good in these. And then there's about a tablespoon of vegetable oil, and I always use olive oil just because. And then about 6 ounces or 178 grams of water. And just add all that into the bowl. Now, I could have mixed these 3 liquid ingredients together in that jar that you just saw me pour the water from, but that seems like an unnecessary step to me. This is going to be just fine. So we're going to mix on low until it comes together. Again, about 2 minutes. This has been going for about 30 seconds, and I'm going to stir in from the bottom in order to make sure that everything gets fully incorporated. And then we'll go for another minute to a minute and a half until it all comes together. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. Now we're going to knead this for 8 minutes on the second speed, and it'll form a nice elastic dough. It's going to clear the sides of the bowl, which it's pretty much doing already. And so I'll be back in 8 minutes. Alrighty, 8 minutes has passed. And this looks like a smooth and elastic dough to me. We'll turn this dough out. Handy bowl scraper, a couple of dollars. Often packaged free with other baking things on Amazon. Or should I say a large retail commerce site? I don't know. Bueno. Should take just a couple of seconds, 30 maybe. Just to knead this dough a little bit. Good. And form it into a ball. Nice. Spray this bowl with a little bit of vegetable oil spray. Cover. Let rise for an hour to an hour and a half until doubled in size. And then we'll come back and shape. Lightly flour our work surface here. And turn this dough out, and we'll shape it into some pretzels. my handy pizza wheel. And cut this into 6 strips. Alright. Cover that loosely. And this we're going to form into a 22-inch long rope. This has got too much flour on it, so it's not with too much flour on the counter, it won't grab the dough and it just slides, and instead of, there we go. See, now that it's been cleaned, does that look like 22 inches? I don't know. Let's find out. It's 15. It's 21. Okay, now form it into a U with the ends away. Turn, cross over the top. Cross again, pull down, pinch. That is a pretzel shape. Now each one of these will rest for about 15 minutes in order to rise a little bit, and then they'll go into the water boiling that has the baking soda added to it, and they'll cook for just 1 minute each on each 30 seconds on each side, and that will form the exterior. The baking soda changes the pH in the dough so that then it will brown nicely when cooked. I've never made pretzels before, so these aren't going to be perfect, but I don't want perfection. If I wanted something that was closer to perfect, I'd have bought frozen soft pretzels and gone that route. Which, you know, it's not a terrible thing to do, but doing this takes a couple of hours altogether. There's a lot of hands-off time. The actual working part of this is not significant. I'll probably have put about 3 hours into this process, but an hour and a half of it was waiting for dough to rise. 10 minutes of it, the mixer was doing the work. So the amount of actual work that I've had to do is not that significant. And I get homemade soft pretzels out of the deal, Ballpark pretzels. Forgive me. I'd say that's worth it. Knowing exactly what goes in them and how you've made them, and if you've got family members, young or old, that enjoy working on projects like this, it can be a fun thing to do. as a little bit of a group activity, get everybody tying knots, as it were. And having a little bit of fun. There's the last one. Looks like pretzels to me. 6 pretzels. They're on a lightly floured surface now to rest for 15 minutes. Loosely covered with plastic wrap so they don't dry out. 4 cups of water in a Dutch oven with a 1/4 cup of baking soda. If you had food grade lye, which you can buy online, you could use that instead of the baking soda. But baking soda is a lot easier to handle, it's a lot easier to dispose of, it's less dangerous, and so on. So America's Test Kitchen and other sites as well recommend this as a great substitute for the home baker. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. I've got water boiling. I'm going to use this slotted spatula. And I'm going to take 3 of these, if I can. Place them in the boiling water. This is one of those things that I reckon the first time I make these are going to get a little funky looking, because I'm not expert at getting them off of here into here, but that's okay by me. Still going to have fresh homemade pretzels. I think that's been 30 seconds. I've got a wire rack ready. And it's important to flip these back over so that the knotted side is up. They're going to rest 5 minutes. So I'm going to sprinkle a 1/2 teaspoon of salt on this. If I weren't using the silicone mat, I would spray the pan with a little bit of vegetable oil spray, but since I am using the silicone mat, that's all I have to worry about. And a little bit more kosher salt. More or less to taste. I like salty pretzels, so. And these are kind of sticky wet from being cooked in that boiling water for a minute, so the salt should adhere. That's good. Oven should be up to temperature in a minute, and these will go in 425 for 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll turn the pan around halfway through the cooking. So, pretzels soon. The time has arrived. So, these cooked for about 16 minutes. I turned them halfway through. And try to hold this up. So the book said, get this. I'm pretty happy. They look like pretzels. Ooh, they're hot, but they're soft. Let cool for 15 minutes. Okay, we'll let them cool for 15 minutes. We'll get some yellow mustard and give them a try. Okay, I've waited long enough. I'm going to try this one. Let's tear a piece off. They smell like pretzels. Nicely dark brown. Good on the inside. Let's see how they taste. Put mustard on it. Very good. So using the bread flour helps develop some chew, but putting the olive oil in the dough keeps it soft, tender. So if you think about what shortening is supposed to do, shortening is supposed to make things tender. So interestingly, it's at the same time chewy as well as tender. And using the barley malt syrup, I believe, is what gives it that kind of golden color on the inside. And the sweetness is not so pronounced. There is a little bit of the malt flavor, which is nice, but the sugar also helps with the browning. So you got that going on. Yeah, I'm really happy with these. This is one of those simple ones. Flour, salt, yeast, brown sugar, or in my case, the malt syrup, oil, thyme, heat. Make yourself some pretzels. Thanks for watching.